wavy beard.
90s to a T.
Yeah.
If I see champagne, I will call it champagne.
Oh, no, we got so many good episodes to watch.
Oh, wait, I'm getting it. Nope, changed my mind. Boo.
This is funny until you have it. No, but seriously, wave after wave of men.
In the future, there's an owl problem.
Sorry, but like, his name, huge ass.
Not
So do you listen to our podcast?
I'm sorry. Blue whales on the moon.
We carry a harpoon. God damn, I hate that we said that.
Shut up and take my podcast.
Mr. Sheffield.
That's more there. Mr. Sheffield.
Yeah. I wonder how much Futurama and the Nanny crossover there is. Me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I am your crossover. Welcome, everybody, to Shut Up and Take My Podcast, the Futurama podcast that pits episode against episode in bloody, glorious gauntlet battle for your entertainment. I am joined here, rudely interrupting Phil when he was trying to say over. I'm joined here by that person, Phil.
I've just finished up decorating my dwelling with some festive gourds.
With Ellen.
Oh, God. What have I done?
Oh, my God.
Blew the levels.
And we're both joined by Sean.
What is smidgen?
Smidgen.
So it's smell vision, clearly.
Smell.
He can't smell either, though, because if he could smell, then he would be able to taste.
And if he could taste, he'd be a better cook.
Should we jump into the plot?
Yeah. Or no, the research. We do research first.
We have a format here.
How many episodes have this been on?
Gee, I'm knocking things up a notch. Bam!
Bam!
So we are up
Can
to
we get as many bams?
Bams?
as we can?
Bam!
Bam!
Bam. So season 3, episode 22, this season 3 finale.
In terms of
The production order.
Oh, okay.
Fuck knows about the other
We give
order.
up. We give up.
We don't care. We just don't care anymore. The 30% Iron Chef, which is...
Iron Chef.
Iron Chef!
Yes. Iron Chef. Or in this, actually, it's Iron Cookaroo.
Cookaroo?
Cookaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Iron Cook in this.
And also, what would it be? Just think a little further, because it's a double meaning,
Is that 30%? Is it the 30% part that's the pun?
Yeah.
as well?
Oh, because Bender's 30% iron.
Bam!
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Director...
Knocked it up a notch.
Bender is... The amount of materials that make up Bender are
I think makes 100.
quite flexible. He says lots of things in different times.
Yeah.
About how much titanium,
Dolomite.
zinc, dolomite.
Dolomite comes
Iron.
in Jurassic Bark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think some people have tallied it up.
Yes, I
But
think
yeah.
it makes 100%, but I'm not sure. We'll get to that.
For this episode, he is 30% iron.
And that's the most important aspect of him.
Yes.
Director for this episode is Ron Hughett from Bendin' in the Wind.
We like that episode. We like that a lot.
Bendin' in the Wind.
Hugo,
Bendin' in the
That's
Wind.
Bending in the
With
Wind
Beck,
is
right?
with
Beck.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
Beck. Yeah,
it's
love
the
it.
country one.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Love him. So Ron Hughett was also an actor, by the way.
Really?
He
With
had
a name like Ron Hughett.
he had
Introducing Ron Huger
as Tall Man 2
as Tall Man 2.
or as Global Driver.
Oh.
Oh.
In
what?
Can't tell you.
He drives.
you.
He drives the
bothered.
globe.
Right.
They were both in 2006.
Okay.
A prolific year for Ron Hughett.
Hughett. Well, we used to say Hughart, but that was wrong. I think it's Hughett. Hughart. I don't know. If you want to get the right pronunciation, go back to...
Pronunciation.
The writer is
Great.
Jeff
Moving.
Westbrook,
Moving right along.
back from the day the Earth stood stupid.
Okay. Yep.
Brains. And here's one for you. So you're aware of the Bacon number, yes?
No.
Oh, Kevin Bacon.
The Bacon number?
What? The 7 degrees of...
Yeah.
Kevin
So
Bacon?
how many creatives you are removed from Kevin Bacon?
Yes. Yeah, I'm aware of the concept. Yeah.
Are you aware of the Erdos number?
Who the hell is Erdos?
Oh, I have heard of this, but remind me.
So Paul Erdos, who was a mathematician and in his own right, he is known for being quite a prolific man of his field. That he did over 500 collaborations with other other people. So in terms of
Academics.
papers and academic papers and such. So the Erdos number is how many you are away from Paul Erdos in terms of papers that you've done, that you've co-authored with other people
Right.
to
you
get to
can
Paul Erdos.
link all the way back to Erdos. Yeah.
So that's the Erdos number. So you also get the Bacon Erdos number for people that have both been in films and co-authored a paper,
Right.
which there's a select few. So people like Natalie Portman,
Okay. Yeah.
because she studied psychology in
Harvard.
That's
Yep.
right. And a few others. However, Jeff Westbrook has a Bacon Erdos number of 6 because he
you
has
get to both in 6 steps.
because he's got Bacon number is 3 and his Erdos number is 3.
Ah.
Okay.
Coincidentally, Erdos's Bacon Erdos number is 3 because his Erdos number is 0
0, yeah.
because he is Erdos and his Bacon number was 3.
We're learning a lot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So find out what your Bacon Erdos number is.
Yeah, sure. I don't think I have any published papers. I did a long form essay for my degree, but it doesn't really count.
I definitely do not have any published papers.
Yeah.
I
don't know how quickly we could get to Kevin Bacon.
Oh, it'd probably be about a solid 20.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Air date for this episode is April 14th, 2002. And introducing, I guess, the concept, the phenomenon that was Iron Chef. Not really a character.
That's been
So
around for
there's-
years.
There's
in
Chairman
Futurama,
Kage is in this episode. Who's it's kind of I don't think he
No.
comes back.
I think his name in Futurama is Koji. He's
Koji.
based off Chairman Kaga,
Okay, so
who
he's
is the
That's right.
Chairman Koji. I don't know
The-
if he comes back.
the
but
genius billionaire who had a dream. It appeared to him in a dream
Right.
that he wanted the best chefs to fight each other in a glorious coliseum. If you watch Iron Chef, that's the opening. Like, it literally says it appeared to him in a dream
Right, yeah.
right before he bites into a capsicum and laughs at the
I like
He's
the
also-
American remake, which is the guy is just the nephew of the
Oh,
original.
gross.
Right, yeah,
And
yeah.
he's just an
out.
actor.
Boo.
Helmut Spargel.
Yep. I don't think we've met him before.
No. He's introduced and removed in this episode by stomach explosion.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't introduced by stomach explosion.
No, that's right. That's right.
Definitely exited that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil, do you want to run down the Ploticus?
Sure. We begin on Good Morning Earth with Morbo, who I love. And Elzar's doing a little cooking segment. Cut to Bender, who's also trying to cook, which freaks out absolutely everybody.
Rightfully so.
I don't think I've
Rightfully so.
ever seen. Well, I've seen Leela cry maybe in one episode.
Yeah, stop crying, Leela. Come on. So he tries to make them brunch, and when he discovers that they all hate his cooking, he runs away for real this time, and begs Elzar to make him a chef. Elzar refuses, so he becomes a robot hobo and meets Helmut Spargel, who is a great chef who lost his whole livelihood when Elzar took over his slot on his cooking show. So he teaches him the secret of pure flavor, so he can go on Iron Kukuru and defeat Elzar, which he does. Having completed his revenge, he gives up the title. And side plot
There we
to
go.
all of this is that
Bring it home.
there is a ship in a bottle, which is coincidentally a scale model of the universe's largest
bottle.
with a ship in it to make it less boring, which Zoidberg breaks and frames Fryfraw.
Fry
Four.
Four.
That is the very, very entertaining side plot of this episode. That's my rundown.
And what do we think, guys?
I love it.
Oh, it's good.
How good?
Such a good time.
How good?
episode.
Mainly because I have an undying passion for Iron Chef.
Yeah, I think that's very key to the enjoyment of this episode.
Bits of it are not far off in terms of parodying itself. Like,
It's quite hard to parody, isn't
having,
it?
Having Chairman Koji in this have doves fly out from underneath his cape is not that far off.
Pretty normal.
I look at that and
Giant
go,
white tiger.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
probably
Yeah,
did happen.
And he does have a sword, I'm pretty sure.
You're pretty sure he does, yeah. And his delivery is spot on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Silent Green.
Also, the fact that, he never speaks in English, and in Iron Chef, while they have all the other kind of judges and cooks dubbed over, Chairman Karga in Iron Chef is never dubbed over.
dubbed.
He just has subtitles, but he'll never be dubbed over.
How
which is,
dare you
Which is
even
so great.
attempt
I
to.
love it.
It does take a long time to get to the Iron Chef.
Yeah.
But I still like the rest of the episode. It's got some fun diversions. The Hobo Planet. Obviously, the whole side plot is
Zoidberg.
Zoidberg side plot is genius.
Oh.
Nefarious Zoidberg is great. And the reason he's nefarious is because he goes, "What would the robot do in this situation?" So he's
mimicking
just trying to be
Bender.
Bender. Like,
Which kind of adheres to our undying love and passion for Zoidberg.
Yeah, that's right.
But also someone brought up this theory a while ago when they said Bender and Zoidberg are like very similar in terms of they just want to be loved. But like Bender does terrible things and is loved. And Zoidberg does nice
best
things and
things.
is hated.
hated, yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to do Bender functions. Unless you,
There's
your
a lot
point.
in
There's
this
a lot.
episode.
I've got 4 here.
So I have Bender Blender,
Bender
Yep.
Blender.
where he puts the chicken inside him.
I would say that's more of a deboner.
Yeah,
but
it turns
in-
it into he turns it skeleton
An articulated skeleton as well.
and a feather duster all in one motion.
So I don't
Which
know.
means the meat was still in his body.
It's
That's
got to go
right.
somewhere.
Yeah.
He's also a grinder,
Mm-hmm.
a pepper grinder, and a pen.
Yep.
Something else?
He's like an oven timer.
An oven, yes.
Yeah,
He is-
because
Yes.
when
he
the
is himself an oven.
yeah. Oh yes.
Because it's just
with,
inside
with
him.
a timer.
Ding!
Ding.
Yeah, so at least 4,
Yeah.
which is great. I love that the pepper comes out his bum.
Yeah, it's a good gag.
What I love about this part of Bender as well is that he was from the very beginning on Futurama's inception. They were all, and I think I've talked about this before, is that they were all meant to have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They were all the crew were meant to have specific jobs that kind of played more into the plot. And Bender's was meant to be he was the ship's cook.
Yeah.
Which they lay seeds for, but they kind of abandoned that whole everyone has to have a job
Yeah.
and you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
And also Bender has his other passion, which is country music.
Yes.
that's right.
So yeah.
And he's meant to be the Prime Minister of Norway, so Norway is probably in disarray at the
Yeah,
moment.
they're just waiting for him to come back.
Well, we've seen what happened when he was gone, so I dread to think what happened.
He's a lot of equally here, as in Godfellas. He has a lot of passion for what he's doing. He's just not very good at it. He really wants to please them, and when he overhears Fry talking about how terrible his food is and how it's going to kill them all, he cries. He's very upset, and then his drinks melt through the floor.
Yeah.
I like that Bender's developed emotion over time.
That's right, and they even say we're going to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
So he clearly has feelings.
They
Yeah.
kind of broke Bender in a way. Like he shouldn't have feelings,
No.
but they kind of broken him. And I guess from the time that he learnt to what is it? I second that emotion where he gets
That's right.
Yeah.
the empathic chip. So some of that's just rubbed off on him. So
Doesn't he have it?
Possibly.
Does he have it removed at the end of that?
he does.
Yeah, but he obviously still has some kind of feelings. It would
Yeah.
be pretty
Science.
impossible to write him without.
Feelings.
That'd be great. Just have zero. Just make him a
that'd be
He should be like a
sociopath.
Vulcan. It'd be weird.
So boring.
Yeah.
A lot of passion in all of his food is so grotesque. I do like the detail on the food he makes for everyone. That's personalized. He bakes Amy a pony
Yes.
because she's cute. Leela, I don't know what the rest of it is, but it has eyes.
2 eyes. 2 eyes.
Which
Two
I feel
eyes.
like is
Not
a bit.
one.
That's a bit offensive, isn't
Yeah.
it?
He's trying to say, this is what you want, right? If you eat the 2-eyed thing, you'll get an extra eye. I don't know.
Farnsworth
I
has-
guess
And
if Bender
Farnsworth
has
just-
like intestines and
he
a
just has
stomach.
like a liver or a kidney or
No, I
what
think
is
it's
it?
a stomach.
It's
right?
just
stomach.
the contents of something's abdomen.
Yeah.
It's really horrible.
Fry's got
Well,
some.
He then pours down the wormhole onto his own
Hold
head.
on. What was Farnsworth trying to get from Leela in Anthology of
It
Interest
was
2?
just organs.
her organs. So
It just had a box that said Leela's organs.
Leela's
there you go.
It didn't
He
say which
eats what he
ones.
wants. So that's actually a good,
You
good
are what you
present by
eat.
Bender.
Fry has just sort of some charred
It
bones.
looks like ribs.
Yeah, but like
maybe.
with no meat on them at all.
But brown. But
no,
like
they're
a
grey.
They're grey brown. Yeah.
They look like charred bones to
It
me.
looks like, you know how sometimes they cure meat and they kind of leave it to kind of age, and then the result is that the outside is kind of like gross and rotted, but then they cut away to like the
The nice
flavored meat.
stuff.
That's what
Yeah.
it kind of looks
I think
like.
you're giving him way too much credit there.
I am.
I think
I
it's,
am.
I think it's kind of charred greyness all the way through.
I don't
Just-
know. Ever since,
And what are those? What about the drinks? It's just
Yeah.
that's
pure-
acid.
Just acid.
Acid and
mop
and
water.
mop water.
mop
yeah.
water, which would probably like maybe just tone it down a little bit. So
Not too much if it still eats through the floor. Like
I love the Leela's plan in this section, which is to go and hide
hide.
under the polar ice caps for a few
weeks.
It's drastic but necessary. I feel.
what I love as well is that Zoidberg doesn't seem phased. He's the only one that is not phased.
yeah,
at the
but I bet
prospect of-
Zoidberg would eat that.
Oh, of course he would.
Oh, Zoidberg, anything.
He'd be
you know.
fine. He had
Yeah.
that. What was it like by that point, like a couple of weeks old sandwich?
Yeah.
Didn't hurt him at all.
Look, can we seg into Zoidberg now because
I love
so much
Zoidberg
like
so
even
much.
better than the main plot of this episode. I enjoy everything to
The
do with the
pathos
Zoidberg
of
plot.
Zoidberg.
Can you point to any episode where Zoidberg has been bad or poorly written?
Well, I guess what's the one with Harold Zoid and
Oh, that's Lobstertainment.
I don't think it's perfect, but he's not bad. I guess.
Why? I mean, the episode's not perfect, but I think he
is good.
He's always.
He's a bit odd in Anthology of Interest, where he just doesn't give a crap and is just kind of like, yeah, courage.
Oh, why did I have to take a cab?
Courage. I haven't got enough of it.
but then the
but
next scene, he's like, "What? Do I smell? Why?
Yeah,
what's wrong
but
with
he's
it? Come
still-
on!"
He still caught a cab to the kidnapping, so I'm going to count it as still in character.
Yeah,
It's like
that's right.
Zoidberg is quite often the highlight of.
He's probably my favorite character.
Yeah.
so
great.
I would have to say.
He's
So,
this.
I'm a bit biased.
He's so physically funny in this one as well.
Yeah, that's
Like,
right.
Just even after Farnsworth says, "Look with your eyes and not your claws," the little he moves his head down close,
can really look
yeah,
with
his
and
eyes,
his eyes just really eyeballing the thing.
There's-
It's very cute.
He comes from comedic royalty as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep,
That's
from the silent holograms as well.
Yeah,
So he
silent
would have to know
hologram,
how
yeah.
to be a good physical comedian.
And
That's
just
right.
just deliver your lines, Zoidberg. Get in, get out. Casual hello.
Casual hello. This,
How is everyone?
That-
What would the robot do?
Sean pointed this out when we were watching it, that there's a really good bit of humor in this to do with the framing of the shot. So there's on the left hand side, you've got the professor leaning in the doorway, and you have to pan across the lab
Yeah.
to get back to Zoidberg, and in the distance of panning.
He's touched it.
touched the bottle and it's shaking. And of course not.
It's
No.
such a good gag. Because I don't want you touching that bottle.
Okay.
Okay. And they do a similar thing later when he discovers the broken ship and bottle, where he's on the phone to Rodrigo or someone. Someone. Professor?
¿Qué pasa?
And he has to go, just let me look at it now. And it's clearly just been in front of him the whole time.
I noticed as well when Zoidberg comes into the shower to frame Fry with the "I hate bottles"
I hate
shirt.
bottles. A
So
smoking
creative.
gun.
The nice little kernel that is dropped there with Fry walking on sunshine.
I'm walking on sunshine.
That keeps peppering itself. It only
And he
becomes
never
relevant.
learns any of the other lyrics.
No, I think he doesn't know the other lyrics.
Yeah.
But that comes back in Jurassic Park. I just love these little.
He sings "Walking on Sunshine" a lot.
Yeah.
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 It's put kind of
Yeah.
laced through there.
It's obviously his favorite song, or I don't know.
Maybe it's Billy West's favorite song. It's like, sing a song and we'll buy the rights to it. It's fine.
Well, maybe that's why he can't ever remember the rest of the lyrics, so they don't have to pay for it.
This is one of those episodes as well where the side plot has a really nice payoff into the main plot. So
Yeah.
we go through the the accusing parlour. Come into my accusing parlour, which
I
you've
don't
seen
remember.
before.
I don't remember doing that, but I don't have the wherewithal to defend myself.
So okay with it, and he's like $10 for the materials. All right, okay. And then afterwards, obviously, Zoidberg is racked by
The
guilt.
sad violin music.
Oh, it's amazing.
What have I done?
And then he can't afford.
A
to get a turkey baster.
commemorative
Because he's tried
turkey
everything
baster.
else and it's just still dry.
Yeah, and so that even more, and then everybody in the audience is shocked when he
Yeah,
confesses.
I love that no context is needed. They're like, oh my god, that is pretty horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chairman Koji, like, as soon as Zoidberg is on stage, his mouth doesn't change for his expression, which is just like wide open shock. Like,
I framed my friend. Oh my god. I don't care what the context is, but that is awful.
Terrible. And then, what does he do?
He tries to kill
he
himself.
tries to commit.
Oh yeah, he ruins a
seppuku,
$5,000 sword.
Dollars.
Dollars.
Which, you know, it makes sense because katanas are shit. They're shit
Yes.
swords, guys.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
stop
yeah.
trying to like hype them up because
What
they're-
sword would you recommend, Ellen?
Oh, I don't know, like a claymore or something. Well, Zoidberg's got like a very tough exoskeleton, so probably nothing's gonna pierce it unless you go for like, I guess the weapon like they used in the one where they go to Zoidberg's planet isn't like a lobster like cracker.
Yes.
Oh,
That would be the appropriate weapon. But katanas are made out of shit metal.
Yeah.
That's why they're folded so much.
yeah.
Is actually to drive impurities out, not because it's some ancient mystical way
Yeah,
of
exactly.
doing things. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
and they're good
Bringing
for
the facts.
cutting, not like stabbing. So.
Yes.
There's a little fun little
Anyway,
information.
he
Yeah.
ruins this somewhat expensive sword
Yeah.
and then immediately frames Fry again. And it's great. It's a great way to
That's
finish
nothing.
the episode.
I do like the little sequence where the training montage for Bender where he's
You're the
learning
best
the skills.
Around.
Yes.
Never gonna get you down.
And like in true fashion, you know, he's showing off and he cuts out the entire length all the way up his arm.
Yep.
And then Helmet's just like, one slice.
Just going to cut
cuts
this
it.
tomato in half.
But that was a little funny historical fact I wanted to drop in there.
Please do.
Before we had anesthetic for cutting off limbs, back in the day, people who performed amputations just had to be really quick and really skillful.
Sure.
And one of the best what do you call them? Not
Amputers.
Amputeurs.
Amputeurs.
Yeah, I guess he was
Surgeons.
well, I don't think he was a surgeon specifically. It's more like a butcher who's trained to just get it off as quick as
They
possible.
like to be called dismemberment artists.
Oh, well, he was doing one in record time, and he also amputated his assistant's hand and I think a part of himself. Like that's
Isn't
just
in the one go?
Just because he was going so
just
fast.
because he was going so quick. Because you just want to get them out, like get it done as quickly as possible, so they feel
I
not
believe
as
I've made
much.
an error.
Something's wrong. I feel pain.
Is that meant to be bleeding? So that's a horrible little
Lovely,
historical
thank you.
fact.
Great.
And yeah,
Bring that one to Imaginauts.
You're welcome, horrible
you.
histories.
Yeah.
thank you.
Also, the parlor scene was meant to be significantly longer.
It's fine as
Was
is.
it? I like it.
Like there was a lot more evidence against
Right.
Fry. Like
I hate
apparently
bottles.
Zoidberg tries to impersonate Fry by stealing his shoe and walking in with.
It's too smart. It's
Right.
too smart.
Yeah, I like the simplicity. It
Yeah.
is-
Fry confesses.
it is very childish of being like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble. Oh, I've got to blame it on someone, and just kind of like,
doing the bare minimum
yeah,
to frame them.
I hate.
And everyone falls for it as well.
Yeah.
Just like,
Speaking of childish, I love the plea from attention little notepad that Bender has.
Oh,
the
yeah.
plea for attention.
yes.
From
With the tick
Bender.
boxes.
Get a
Yeah.
tattoo.
I'm committing suicide. I'm getting a tattoo. I'm running away from home, and also the box.
For real this time.
Yeah, this time I mean it. That's something I did as a kid.
You had a tick box.
Get a tick
No,
box.
but when I was like, when I did something wrong and like,
Just threatened to run away.
no, I wrote suicide notes.
Oh, no.
Because I was like, how can I,
Damage the people that I love.
well, not only that, but how can I make it their problem? Like, even though it's clearly my fault and I've done something wrong, or like, oh, they'd feel so bad after I die, and so I'd write like little suicide notes with a drawing of.
I was going to say, would you have a drawing as
with
well?
a drawing of my tombstone, and like my mum or something crying over my grave, being like, "Oh, I wish I'd bought her that toy."
What, you gave her like a speech bubble?
We're learning so much today.
I'm also
if you're out there,
noticing.
kids, please don't do.
I'm also noticing that you have a tattoo. So did you also use the tattoo one as well?
No, I tried to slip that by the radar, actually.
And how'd that go?
Not great, because it was in the middle of summer.
Oh right,
And
yeah.
the tattoo's like right on my shoulder where tank top like sleeves will tank top will reveal it very easily.
No, that's not forward planning. That's the problem there.
Yeah. So anyway,
Back to the main plot.
he's committing. He's not committing suicide. He's running away.
Yeah,
This time he means it. He goes to
I like his bindle.
yeah. And
'cause whenever you run away, you've just got to have
a bindle.
Classic bindle.
Yeah.
I've never seen one in real life, by
I've
the way.
never seen a real-
Have you ever seen a bindle?
I tried to make
No.
one for a play.
Oh, really?
Because my
Was it
my
quite
character
tough?
was running away and
Was
had a bindle. It was really hard.
Yeah, I'll
Actually, it's
bet,
really
yeah.
hard to tie up.
It's also
and-
not very efficient either. Just like these days, I'd just be like, well, I've got a bag.
You got a backpack. Yeah,
It's fine.
Yeah, or if you can tie stuff up in a blanket, why not just like make a little hook for your hand and carry it that way? It's much better than carrying it over your back, surely.
Yeah.
What do we think about the space hobos?
I think it's a bit offensive.
Oh, the
Snowflake Patrol. No, I mean, like, yeah. I mean,
Hobo, I guess for me, there's a kind of in America. There's like a whole kind of there's like a romantic notion around hobos that it's more
Yeah,
playing on.
Yeah,
which,
ride the
like-
rails, see the
reality
world.
of homelessness,
which is what this episode is playing up. That they've got this little. I mean, and
Hobo community,
there are
right?
lots of communities like that where they'll all kind of congregate and
what's
build-
Eugene, Oregon?
Yeah, I've got that as a note. Eugene, Oregon. Is that a stab at like
Oregon?
like a
I
crappy
don't know.
town in
Is
Oregon?
Eugene, if there are any American listeners listening to us whatsoever,
Please.
and especially if you're from Eugene, Oregon,
Yeah.
Tell us what
Defend
what,
your place.
Or
Defend
don't.
Your,
Or don't.
Yeah, or tell us
don't.
why it's
tell
shit.
us that it's actually awful.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna let it slide a bit, but also the joke that Bender would much rather be called a robo than a romo.
Yeah,
Come on, guys.
It's dating a little bit, isn't it?
it's the late 90s, early noughties.
Yeah. I just think it's too cheap for a show as good as Futurama. To like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we've run across a couple of those problems before. We're like, this isn't
Yeah,
very
and I guess it's
well.
depending on like who's writing the
Yeah,
episode.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat with you, where I think jokes about like, oh, I got angry because someone might have insinuated that I'm gay.
Yeah.
is really not funny.
Yeah, and also the one, the fact that this homeless person used to be a senator is kind of like a.
What?
It's sort of a weird side thing, isn't
It's
it?
just really sad. And
Yeah.
I'm
When
not
I was
drunk.
a senator.
Yeah, I'm not drunk. I'm mentally ill, but I like what you said. It's like, oh, great. We're gonna make fun of mentally ill people as well.
Look, Snowflake. We can.
Oh, you want to fucking throw down?
Also-
throw down. I will.
Look up Eugene, Oregon. Looks like a lovely little place.
Great.
Yeah.
It's lovely, actually.
I wanna go
Great.
there.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Don't know
let's
what
go
they're talking
there.
About.
Let's do a live show.
They
at
might have
Eugene, Oregon.
they might have cleaned it up
Yeah,
recently.
thanks Futurama.
Starlight Express, good gag. I liked that on the space train.
Oh right,
That's
yeah.
one of the
I
characters.
liked Wrath of Conrail.
I bet you did. I bet you did. I didn't catch any of the other.
There's a little Star Wars reference with the hover potatoes. And
Yes.
The laser peeler is a
Yeah.
nice Star Wars
I
reference.
like
Which
that.
Bender was quite good at, actually.
Yeah, he
I
was
think
very
he's-
good at it.
He passed those tests quite well.
I quite like the panel of
Oh.
Iron Cook.
The judges?
I do have a little bit of
Bubblegum
a
Tate.
yeah.
Morbo, the head of Martha Stewart, who has lovely curtains and jewels.
Yep.
She has lovely little accents to her
Head.
head.
Well, you know, she
Her
was like
jar,
she was
her
like
jar.
once the. I don't know how
She's
much
America's
money she
homemaker,
made.
isn't
she? Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Like, she was raking it in at one point.
I think it's more to do with her background and home decor and living than it is that she's just really rich.
Yeah.
What did
yeah,
she
yeah.
go to prison for?
For inside trading?
Oh, was
Right.
it?
Like
Yeah.
she knew stuff about the stock market.
Okay.
That was yeah. Don't do
naughty,
it.
naughty.
Kind of
Am I
yeah.
missing anyone?
No.
Is it just 3?
There
That was
was a
just-
guy next to them, but he wasn't ever mentioned. He was in kind of
And
inconsequential.
also, Chairman Koji is part of that.
Part of that. Okay.
It's. I wish they had. Like, this is a really specific thing I love about Iron Chef, that they always have like one actress who the dub over is always like, oh, I like it. It's very light and refreshing. And then they've got some like maybe
Simon
not
Cowell type.
someone in politics, maybe a guy who's a bit more I don't know,
Forthright.
jovial. No, jovial.
Oh, right.
And then they'll
Ah.
have this woman, and she's on it occasionally, and every time she does, it's an absolute joy. And her profession changes when it introduces her from sometimes she's a food critic, sometimes she's a psychic.
Oh, okay.
And she's this stern older woman, and
She comes in and she's like, I'm not going to enjoy this.
well,
one."
usually, but if she enjoys it, generally, like that's good. But if there's anyone who's going to have any criticisms, it's
her.
usually
Oh,
her.
okay.
Usually her.
Also, kudos to Bender for having an immense amount of restraint to not gushing over Bubblegum Tate, his idol.
That's right. He's kind
Yeah.
of got over that by that
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
And on the flip side, Bubblegum Tate didn't have any bias because he hates Bender.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Not
good.
a fan.
That's
So,
nice.
Yeah,
like,
They're impartial in the context
Well, I
of
guess
the show.
you gotta play by the rules.
yeah,
It's
especially
all
when the
about the
cameras are on.
food. It's all
Cameras are
about
on.
the food.
Can I go through a quick couple of favourite moments? 'Cause we
You go
sort of
for
picked
it.
apart
Go
most of the
for
episode.
it.
So at the very beginning of the episode, when Morbo checks the otherworldly monstrosity in Elzar's pot
with
it
mango
just sort of
chutney.
with mango chutney, it just X-rays through his head. It's a really lovely visual gag. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. I love the quiet introduction of Bender's food. It's like, Bender appears to be some kind of fantastic mechanical man. It just really tickles me.
Yeah.
And also the framing conclusion where they've been watching Iron cook on TV.
Yeah.
And he's like, and that's how I won. And they're like, yeah, we were there.
We
watched
know.
it.
And we just watched it.
Yeah.
And the secret ingredient is LSD.
Yeah, that's
Which
Like,
I had
it-
no idea what that was as a kid.
Well, like, yeah, it might make it taste better, but also that's not going to take away from the fact that his ingredients are completely unedible
No.
and
Yeah,
will
make
actually
stomach
kill you.
explodes.
So I don't know what.
It's
yeah.
like, so is that what they're saying? Like, if you have LSD, you can just cheat death,
take
basically?
drugs, kids.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we're saying.
Take LSD. You will love it. We
mean,
sure do.
You won't not love it. So
Unless
LSD.
you have a really bad time, and then you will absolutely hate it.
No,
Yeah.
but then you just hate the bad time, but you still like
That's
the
right,
LSD.
still like the LSD, yeah.
So there you go, public
So
service.
if you are going to do on a more serious note, I feel like I cannot let that slide.
I can let it happen.
On a
I
more
can
serious
too.
note, if you're going to do things like that, be around people you trust, have someone
Yes.
sober with you,
Yeah.
and do everything in moderation.
And if something happens, just tell a doctor. Like, doctors
You'll
don't
be
care.
fine.
Tell them the truth
Yeah,
at
you'll
all
be fine.
times.
But the important thing is do it.
Oh, yeah, wait, have a go. Phil is so mad.
I agree, though. You should give it a go.
Yeah. LSD, you won't not like it.
Thank you.
Unless you do. But don't blame us.
Yeah. So what did we think?
Well, let's put that up to
Are
the
we
vote.
Yeah,
doing
I
doing
mean-
the vote now?
Unless you have any more favourite moments, any little things you want to throw in.
I have a lot of-
rate a mention.
Yeah. Look, I think
This is your last chance to rate a mention on something.
portal gag before portal was a thing.
Yeah,
Farnsworth using the portal to clean his
Clean his
head
own
through
head.
the table.
Golden.
It's really nice. Yeah, it might be.
think
Oh, I don't like that Zoidberg is clearly the victim of abuse. He's like classic, like battered wife syndrome, where it's like, oh no, the professor, he'll hit me, but maybe if I do something right, gifts.
Yes, maybe. I like that insinuates that has happened in the past.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's definitely happened.
I think it's-
As if Farnsworth gives him gifts.
No,
It's more like a pet than a
yeah.
yeah. And
Don't abuse your pets.
when this comes up, it's always worth noting Zoidberg, Farnsworth's oldest friend.
Yes.
just
Mentioned
putting that out
quite often.
Bless. Oh god. And that he has a cloaca. I found.
yes.
Or what was he going to do? Tear him
Both
a
times,
new toy?
both times you watched this episode, you went, ugh.
Oh.
Well, it was more
So-
like a.
Oh,
I did it.
but But also, tear one? Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's why I went,
Yeah. Gotta tear him a new
cloaca. Ooh, yuck.
On that note, let's vote.
Let's vote.
From cloaca to voting, Roswell That Ends Well versus the 30% Iron Chef.
Oh, no.
Easy for me. I'm still on Roswell. It's an award-winning episode for a reason. This is a great fun episode, but the plot relies a bit too heavily on stringing together a few very disconnected things.
Yeah.
And while it manages to string it together with a sense of fun and frivolity, and the side plot's great, the plot of Roswell is super tight and all works really well together. And you can't beat that Zoot Suit. So that's it for me.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm going to be in the same boat. Like, Roswell That Ends Well is just, it's damn near a perfect quintessential Futurama episode. Like, it's a reason everyone remembers it. Like, it's, well, it kind of goes by the way that we voted, but it's the highlight of season 3. And I personally, Godfellas came close for me.
This episode isn't as good as Godfellas.
But yeah.
Oh, really? I enjoyed this a lot more than Godfellas, mainly because I liked the pace of it. I didn't like the contemplative kind of and because I guess I have more difficult relationships with religion and kind of any religious kind of tract, I was a bit more hesitant to enjoy Godfellas.
Yeah. Godfellas was pretty, faithful to the Christian.
Yeah.
Were you in a cult or something?
I'm not allowed to talk about that.
You guys took a lot of LSD, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. You drank the Kool-Aid.
I did not like it. Look, I guess it's pretty unanimous.
You would vote for Roswell, would you?
You can vote this episode over
No,
Roswell.
I mean, I was almost going to vote for this one just because I have a lot of fun in it, but...
Did we pressure you?
No.
Good.
I don't care what you think.
Good.
Good, that's how
That's how we'd like to do it.
But the plot for Roswell, it just is... It's funny, but it's also like a proper plot, and it uses all the characters it has. Whereas this one, it's got mostly Bender. We love the Zoidberg. Everyone's kind of a bit on the back burner, whereas everyone in Roswell has a point, or at least has a funny bit.
They have a look in, don't they? Yeah.
And
Except for
Hermes and Amy.
Yeah, and it's all driving together as one thing.
Yes.
And I can't fault the plot. Whereas this one, it's kind of like there's little bits that don't quite work. I like the Iron Chef context so much. But I
think this episode kind of relies on you
loving
getting a
Iron
kick
Chef.
out of Iron Chef, which obviously a lot of people do. It's a really cool.
It's a great show.
It's a really cool format. Like it's really showy and over the top, and for that reason, a lot of people really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to the episode's detriment, but it does narrow the potential love for the episode slightly.
Like it's a great episode, but it's just not as tight as Roswell.
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing is that the difference between the way Hermes and Amy were used, in both those episodes is Roswell actually didn't need those characters, so they don't even have them as background characters. They're not even there to be silent. They're just not there.
Yeah.
Whereas the Iron Chef, you can't escape that they would be around. But now you also have no use for them to be there, or you haven't used them. So it's more glaringly obvious.
Yeah. So you have Leela have a couple of lines here and there and cry.
Yeah. Like Roswell, they very easily could have brought Hermes and Amy along and then just not use them. But they went, we've got no space for them. We've got this very tight episode that has 2 plots running parallel. Doesn't need them. It's just very efficient.
Yeah.
But
we still had a lot of fun. We definitely
have
knocked
fun here.
Yeah, fun guys. We also do voices from time to time.
Knocked it up a notch. Bam!
Bam!
We have done Elzar, I think.
I'm sure we must have done.
We've
it.
done it a
must
lot
have done.
throughout this episode.
And we've done Iron Chef.
We've.
Chairman
Koji.
I think we should go for a bit of Helmet.
He's kind of a German, isn't he?
No, I think... no, I can't.
Oh!
Isn't it more kind of Russian? I
guess.
Soviet.
I'm going to steal this line.
Oh, there goes my life.
You forgot the eep.
Oh, fuck. Ruined it. I ruined
I
it.
will give you just as a master of chess, must win one game of chess. So you must cook one edible meal.
I mean, he's not wrong.
And now I am here making pies out of shoes.
To the horror.
I know we've already gone through these. The moments, like the gag where
Sparkle.
Bender eats a piece of pie, and then like a minute later in the conversation, he just takes it out of his stomach and puts it back on the plate.
same deviled egg.
Yeah, that's right.
Also, that just means he has a plate sitting in his
Yes.
chest,
Yeah, well,
ready
he was an oven, so maybe
to
it
serve
got
later.
left.
That's
You just
right.
forgot to
That's
remove
right.
it. So that makes Roswell That Ends Well the season 3 Baby Beard winner.
Well deserved.
Which now
you mean
and so that goes into the competition that now is in good company with God, what is it? It's my favorite episode so far. Season 1, When Aliens Attack.
yes?
And season 2, Mother's Day.
Oh yes. Mother's Day.
And now season
With all the
3,
robots.
All's Well. No, Roswell.
Roswell,
That Ends Well.
That
Not the
Ends
Shakespeare play.
No.
Until next season, which will be next week, where we will be doing Kif Gets Knocked Up a Notch.
Whoop.
Oh yeah, nice.
Knocked up a notch. Bam.
Bam!
Bam.
We continue our bamming.
Yep.
Yeah. Bam our way through the
Bam.
episode.
Bam, bam, bam.
And yeah, so look, if you want to get in contact with us for any reason, even if it's just to say the word BAM, you can do so at babybeardmedia@gmail.com.
Tell us what your favourite episode of the season is on Twitter or on Facebook. And just send random stuff at us on Instagram. Why not? You can find all our podcasts on Speaker, iTunes, and Instagram.
Or if you like, you can kill off your own mentor and then challenge us to a giant cooking battle. And then you'll get to meet us in person.
We will mess you up.
Sean, right?
No, I won't.
He
No.
never cooks anything.
Yeah, but that's the point. I will cook you something horrific.
It will mess you
Oh, it can be like Iron Chef Depression or something, and just make
no.
like 2-minute noodles.
Oh no.
Make,
Yeah, sorry.
just present
Yeah, that's fair.
No water, just
the
the
packet
block.
Just make it.
and still
And
sprinkle
you
the
gotta eat
seasoning
it
on it.
dry. Oh no.
That
With
sounds-
that lovely image, I guess we should say goodbye.
Yeah, I have been Sean.
I've been Ellen.
I've been Phil.
We'll see you guys in season 4 on the home stretch.
Bam!
Bam!
Side note, if this recording doesn't work, I scream
Sean's gonna commit suicide using a katana.
and I will make a little scribble note about it
Yeah.
with thought bubbles.
You'll be so sorry when I'm dead.
Oh, also, just as a little quick note, deleted scene was Fry and Bender playing hangman with each other, and there was 3 O's already on it, and then Fry goes, 1. And then the rest of the things were 1. It was just 1 0 1 0, and Bender gets like, oh, fucking hell, damn it.
Playing hangman in binary.
That's lovely.
Let's go.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Target.
You.
Yes,
so I
Phil.
will ask you in the recording, would you like to MC the proceedings at the reception?
Oh,
Well,
fuck
if
me.
you
But
turn
we're
it down now, it's recorded, so be
That's
super
right.
awkward.
We're not. Is that a yes?
I mean, look, sure.
Thanks, Sean. Thank you very much.
I mean, look, it's your... I was going to say it's your funeral, but it's your wedding. So it's just not
But
the
the
same.
heels, just when you clack them together, they go clack. It was fun.